I'm John.
And I'm Josh.
And we are going to look at the Week 3 results of the 2024 college football season. And we'll start with sort of the order that we've been in. May leave some out that were not that important, but hit on the more important ones for the most part. So first of all was number 20, Arizona. They were at number 14, Kansas State.
Wasn't even a game.
Wasn't a game. Yeah.
Arizona's quarterback was supposed to be pretty good with it. He got shut down 31-7. Kansas State dominated that game. They kind of put themselves in the front running of the Big 12 for sure. As the team to beat. So good for them.
For sure. Another game that wasn't a game was number 4 Alabama went to number 10 went to Wisconsin. And with this one 42-10, so Alabama won it fairly soundly. The thing I was impressed with were much fewer penalties. They didn't have any turnovers. Those were things that really hit them hard against South Florida. And so I think that was a good sign going into this one.
Definitely questioned some of the play calling. It seemed like Milroe just ran a lot.
It did seem like that.
Kind of see, I don't know, in the future I want to see if that's actually sustainable, especially, going into SEC play. Milroe is going to get hit if he keeps running like that, right? So
he will.
Interested to see what Alabama does moving forward.
Absolutely. Then you the game, really the funnest game of the week in my mind.
And game day,
And game day.
They knew something we didn't.
They picked it. Number 16 LSU was at South Carolina, and it was a fight the whole game.
Yeah, honestly, South Carolina, they had this in the bag.
They really did.
Kind of let it slip away from them.
Yep.
I don't really know if they kind of slightly put their foot off the pedal, but they allowed LSU to storm back in and miss the field goal to tie the game. It's tough.
Yeah, it is.
Tough loss for Beamer.
In South Carolina, their starting quarterback went out during the game. I think that made a huge difference.
I agree.
And South Carolina's defensive line really looked good in this game. Where were they against Kentucky? I don't know.
Yeah.
They really did good against Kentucky as well because they
dominated.
Yeah, they dominated. So then you had number 24 Boston College. They were at number 6 Missouri. Okay, so
a lot closer than I thought it was.
It was close, and so I guess this could say why Boston College was number 24, why they were ranked, because they really gave Missouri a hard time. Missouri still won at 27-21,
and they were down a good portion of this game.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. 21 points, the first point scored against Missouri all season, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see what Boston College does in the ACC for the rest of the year. I'm curious to see. It's a weaker ACC conference, so I'm curious to see if Boston College is actually one of the better teams.
Absolutely. Then you had number 9 Oregon against Oregon State, and you said that this needed, potentially a clear statement win for Oregon.
It was.
They won.
I was correct.
49-14.
Yeah, as a Boise fan, I'm actually very happy about this win. Oregon State was claiming they had 2 Ashton Genties in their backfield and all kinds of other stuff. So it's just fun to see them get absolutely demolished by Oregon. And 49-14. This is the first good, complete win Oregon has had all season.
That is true. That is true. Absolutely.
Big win for Oregon.
Number 18, Notre Dame put the hammer on Purdue, 66-7.
My goodness.
Yeah,
remember,
no upsets there.
Yeah, this is a Notre Dame team that came off of the loss against Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
66-7 is wild against another Power 4 team.
Yes.
So kudos to Notre Dame for a fantastic rebound week.
It could also mean that Purdue's just really bad this year.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and I mean, I'm not denying that they are probably pretty bad, but 66-7 is still impressive.
It is. All right, then the game that brought a lot of question marks to a lot of people's minds because they were really surprised by this. Number 1 Georgia. 13-12 over Kentucky, but it was a fight. I mean, they just could not manage this one.
And Kentucky, 4 field goals, no touchdowns. No capitalization. They had. They had everything they needed to.
It was theirs to win, and they didn't.
Yeah. I'll say this: a lot of people are, saying Georgia. Oh, you almost lost to Kentucky. Let's remember. Yeah, let's remember. Georgia really likes to struggle against their first home or away game in the SEC.
Yeah.
Right. For all we know, Georgia can come back here and just dominate the rest of their schedule.
Yeah.
I would not count Georgia out. I would not. Look, they won the game, and that's all they needed to do.
Yeah.
Right. They won the game. 13,
Even though
12.
the AP poll is counting them out.
Well, that's because
Dropped
Texas
them
just
down
looks
one.
really good. But yeah, just slow your roll if you think Georgia is not as good as they have been.
Yeah.
Just wait.
So the in-state rivalry, Washington State against Washington Huskies.
Mhm.
You know, the Washington Huskies were off playing in the national championship last year. Sorry, Washington State, 24-19.
I kind of I thought Washington State had a solid chance of winning this game.
You said that. Yeah.
And they did. Their quarterback is a phenomenal dual threat quarterback. You need to watch out for him. Boise needs to watch out for him soon. So Washington State, great win for them. Pac-2, they're the only undefeated team left in the Pac-2.
Yeah.
with Oregon State losing. So,
and the Pac-2 is changing. It's becoming a few more.
Yeah, including Boise.
Boise. So speaking of the group of 5, we're not gonna talk about the bye week teams, but we had UTEP and they were at they were against Liberty.
Yeah.
And Liberty won that one pretty well.
Yeah, 28-10. It was, one of the better looking Liberty teams. Still, with the hype that I felt like Liberty was going to have, I'm not seeing them beat opponents as much as I thought they would, but 28-10 is a great win for Liberty.
All right. So what do you do with this next one? All right, the next one we had Tulane at Oklahoma, and you were expecting Tulane to maybe give them a hard time, and they did.
Yeah, and let's remember Tulane just battled against Kansas State last week in an extremely close game where Kansas State came back and won. Kansas State destroys Arizona 31-7, right? Kansas State looks phenomenal. Tulane was in this game, right? They were in this game the whole time. They were competing the whole time. I am really interested to see what the group of or the playoff committee does when it comes time to start choosing teams. If Tulane were to win out, do you punish or reward them for choosing to play 2 extremely tough opponents? This goes, for example, like we just talked about Liberty.
Yeah.
They played jack squat all season long, right?
That's right.
So if Liberty were to go undefeated and then Tulane were to win the rest of their games, do you give it to Tulane who can compete against?
I would say yes, but would they?
And I would hope so too.
Would they?
Yeah, I would hope that they would say yes to that. So
the next one was UNLV. They were at Kansas, and this was actually a really good game to watch.
Yeah,
not what Kansas wanted.
Yeah, clearly, but very. UNLV's quarterback couldn't throw, right? He ran a lot, absolutely.
Or that was sort of their one play, sort of like Alabama with Milroe.
Yeah, 23-20. UNLV scraped by Kansas.
Yeah.
This is a Kansas that was ranked earlier in the season.
They were.
So.
Yeah. That's right. So let's talk about the upsets. You got one.
I got one. We'll start with my not so correct one. Colorado at Colorado State. This was kind of a must-win for Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
so honestly, it was a fairly dumb choice on my part choosing them. 28-9. Colorado was never in any concern of losing this game. But
despite all the bad mouthing going back and forth and everything,
constant. But also, Sanders for Colorado in their last loss against. He just kind of threw his team under the bus. Didn't really show the leadership you could really look for. So I'm curious to see how they continue to gel, because you need to I think what they're missing as a team is kind of that unity. So
it will be interesting to see what happens. Absolutely.
Memphis at FSU. I don't know how FSU is favored in this game. I really don't. But it was a good close. Call. It was close. Memphis wins 20-17.
20-12.
Thank you.
Yes.
20-12. Let me just say, Florida State, as down bad of a team as you can possibly be, I don't understand how DJ is still starting.
Yeah.
Do you really not have anything else that you can do?
I know.
Nothing. You scored 12 points.
Yeah. And the problem with them, looking down the road, they've got more losses to come.
Boy, do they.
Cal, SMU, Clemson, Duke, Miami are just the next ones in line.
Yeah, by the way, there's
going to be losses in there.
Will
there be a win is the question. Maybe Cal, maybe SMU. I don't know.
Cal just beat Auburn, right?
Miami, no.
I really don't. Yeah. Clearly.
Dude,
Clemson, no chance. They really could either go 1-4 in the next couple games or 0-5.
Yeah.
It is very possible.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Huge win for Memphis. Not as big as they probably want it to be, right? They kind of need Florida State to turn things around to make that look better. Because right now, Florida State's probably bringing down their strength as
That's right.
So,
Anyways. Absolutely. Yeah. So that was our week 3 look, and join us when we talk about week 4.